Thursday's Eye next, and when I was at school there was a craze for mullets. Now the mania is for kids gender transitioning, which is a bit harder to grow out when fashions change, Nick.
Yeah, well, speaking of Rishi, this is Transgender Guidance for Schools to be published this summer, says Rishi Sunak. And it's good. He's saying it's important that parents know what's going on. And this was on the front page last night. It's the Policy Exchange think tank. And they've said that schools have been effectively facilitating medical interventions on site by supporting pupils to and supporting means really encouraging them to change gender more than they should be. It said that they asked more than 300 secondary state schools, and it turned out that 40% of schools allow pupils to self-declare their gender without parental consent,
right.
Which is obviously weird and wrong and creepy.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's great that Sunak's doing this, and hopefully it's enough, because adults, by being part of this dangerous cult, have put children in danger in a despicable way.
Well, they haven't just put them, they have... This danger has occurred.
Yes,
I mean, 40% of our schools going through with this gender ideology, that's an incredible figure. Yeah. And people argue, oh, it doesn't happen, oh, it's one or two schools. No, this is showing how much of a chunk has been sort of taken over by this ideology.
Yeah.
And that's not, you know, you guys know, but... this has a real-life impact on people, certainly particularly young girls, teenage girls, becoming medicalised, becoming infertile, unable to have healthy sexual relationships. And if they were left alone and not just sort of pushed down this route, which is what these schools essentially are doing, they would just come out the other end and just be normal kids, probably lesbians, totally fine with a healthy life.
Yeah. Well, transgenderism seems to have replaced anorexia
well, you see the charts.
Young teenage girls as the sort of preferred social contagion of the middle class.
Have you seen that graph?
Yeah,
it shows like that the last 10, 15 years, and then that's the one for anorexia. Yeah. That's not fingers, by the way.
That's the wrong...
Yeah, make sure you get that in. Nearly killed Leo with humour. Do you know how I feel about this story? Much like the World Athletics trans ban, you sort of celebrate and go like, this is great. Then you realise, you feel a bit like you found your keys. You're relieved for a minute, and then you realise, actually, nothing's really changed. You just wasted half an hour. Like, we're just coming back to normal, you know what I mean? It's very important this stuff happens. But we haven't actually achieved anything. We've just come back to basic sanity.
And also, sorry, and just one is just the fact that he's doing it so rushed, because the fact that it's been going on for so long, and people always say, oh, this is just a distraction from the immigration, from all the other rich. Yeah. No, this is a massively important thing they need to be sorted. It should have been sorted a long time ago. I'm glad they're on top of it.
And people on the right are accused of stoking culture wars, but it wasn't us who went into schools and started convincing children to transition.
Tory government.
Anyway, well, yeah, you got a point.